You're good.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Okay, what the fuck else am I supposed to say?
Cut that cat. Developing, so I'm just ranting now. So go.
What the fuck am I supposed to say? You already said everything.
He can cut. What's up, guys? This is Anthony from HSC.
This is Ivy, and this is Levi.
And this is Levi.
These are my babies.
Today we have a list. I wouldn't say top 5 glute exercises, but 5 glute exercises to really develop the glute exercises that us men don't actually do.
And for the people that don't currently glute train, I think it's very important, especially if you have a sedentary lifestyle and you're sitting on your ass all day. Your lower back's gonna start to hurt, your upper back's gonna start to hurt, and you're gonna be like, why? And it's basically because your glutes are very weak. So I hope this workout helps you guys helps you guys out, and let us know what you want to see in the comments below.
First, we have a split squat, rear foot elevated split squat. This is my personal favorite for glute development. So Ivy is going to demo here. Naturally, you want to put your back foot down. Ideally, I don't actually like the toes up, because then you get very high pressure and flexion in the toes. You get pretty uncomfortable. And then pending your mobility, we don't want to be loading that Achilles while we're just trying to focus on the working leg glute. Where you can find your own comfort in the distance of where you want to stand on a split squat. You just don't want to get to a point where the knees track over the toes. So Ivy's gonna do a bad rep here. And what we never want is the knees getting over the toes, which Ivy's probably going through here. You probably feel the connective tissues, the ligaments, the joints going on in the knee. We wanna just focus on the glute. So without moving her foot, Ivy's gonna track towards the bench, keeping that knee right behind her toe. What you want to notice here is she's keeping a neutral spine, she's not hunching over, and your lats are engaged on the hole. That way, if the lats aren't, then we're gonna find the weights inconsistently wobbling all over the place. It's a women's bar, okay? I have a sensitive pelvis.
Okay, you need a pussy pad. Hold on. Yeah, just a tip. Sometimes people get, have issues and troubles putting on the plate to a bar. So this is just one way to do it. You just hook it on like that, and then you want to make sure you go in between the bar, or the bar's in between your legs, and then you just go make sure you have a neutral spine, and then just pull it. It's a lot easier than going from this side and trying to wiggle it on. So that's just something that I learned over time with training, but I know like a lot of my clients just don't know that, and then it takes them like 20 minutes to get off a plate. So I know you guys have seen hip thrusts before on Instagram or whatever the case, it's all over YouTube, but it is a great exercise for your glutes that doesn't load your knees. So say you have a knee injury, or I don't know, squatting, you're just not a fan of it. This is a really good exercise just to target the glute itself. So you wanna make sure you get close to the bench, as close as possible. Hips are directly under the bench and elbows are on top of the bench. If you're able to, you're going to get your feet flat. If not, some people don't have the mobility for that, just dig your heels into the floor. So you just wanna get like an inch off the floor so you can actually get yourself on the bench. Okay, so he's already fucking up. So you want to make sure you don't load your elbows, because if you load your elbows, this is loading. So exactly. So you want to make sure your back is loaded onto the bench, and he's going to scoot up to where the bottom of his shoulder blades is on top of the bench. So his chin is going to be tucked to his chest at all times. This is going to limit any extension or hyperextension in the back, and really just focus on hip extension. Lower.
I'm going to take a break real quick.
Okay.
Watching at home. I worked out this morning.
Oh, I know. It's a bar, yeah.
God.
So he's gonna work on going lower. So you want to bring your hips to the bench as you go down. Yes, and thrust up. Good.
Okay, okay.
Now keep this tucked, and so when you come up, it's just hip extension. Don't move your back.
Got it.
Good. Keep going. Good. One thing, relax. Relax.
I ain't coming back.
Yes, you are. Relax. One thing is that he's putting a little bit too much pressure on his toes, so he's actually targeting a little bit more of his quads. So you want to make sure you press on the center of your foot to your heel. You want to make sure your weight is mostly on the center of your foot to your heel when you press the bar up. Okay? Go ahead.
I'll put my toes
That's
up
fine
for the
too.
people at
That's
home.
fine. Yeah.
Just so they know I wasn't cheating. Because my coach here think I'm driving through my toes. I'm really not.
Good. Yeah, and this is not bad to do, but it does put a lot of stress on your ankles, so
I got good
you want to
ankles.
just keep your
Speed trainer.
feet flat as best as you, you know, you want to keep your feet flat. Okay, done.
All right, so the next one is our high box TRX step up, okay? If you don't have a TRX, you can literally do this with your workout buddy, partner, and go by way of hands. So the reason this is a great glute exercise in difference to a squat or even lunges, your quads will always contribute. If we're doing there's no way that we can do a squat without firing on the quad, yes? So the quad is still present on the movement, but granted how high Ivy's leg is, or anyone else when they're performing it, is there's a maximal stretch here on the glute. So by the time she comes up, where she's fully loaded because it's such an exaggerated range of motion, she's firing on nothing but the glute. Go ahead and come up. By the time the quad comes in, it's at the back third of that movement, okay? So when we get down here, we're really, really pushing the boundaries of that full range of motion that the glute can actually get, okay? Go ahead. So when you go through, you really want to go down with control, and then because it's a body weight exercise, you really do want to be aggressive and have max intent on your stand. So as you go up, just as we did with the split squats, you always want to lock out on that glute as you get to the top. There is no right or wrong on how much you depend on the strap. Again, it's here for balance purposes. It doesn't change the load that you get on the glute. So pull on your friend as much as you need to, pull on the straps as much as you need to. I'd recommend 15 to 20, just granted it's a body weight exercise, not highly strenuous, 15 to 20 per leg. As you guys probably noticed already, I'm very big on single leg isometric. So,
This is a
single leg. This is a lateral step up, okay? So in difference to a conventional step up where you're actually facing the box, this goes back to that last exercise where we were talking about firing on the quad, okay? When we go linear and the box is in front, I can already feel from here that my quad is firing, and because of the mechanics here, the technique, my glutes aren't necessarily on. We'd have to go back to that dynamic of having a higher box. So from here, it's very quad dominant, no matter what we did here, especially if my knee is only at a 90 bend from ankle, knee to hip. So how to change that and really target the glutes, we want to go through on a lateral step up. Now that the weight of it is not over the quad, we can actually sit because the step is lateral. We can get into our glute. So,
do I need to wait or no?
No, you're good. Okay. Something you want to do to kind of reset yourself every time before you start this exercise and between every single rep is put tension into the box, right? So as you put tension into the box before you go up, Ivy, where do you feel the tension? Yeah, where do you feel the tension?
In my glute.
Feel it in her glutes. Always put tension in. If you're having inconsistencies finding your glutes, put pressure into the bench, and just granted your technique and the structure of the movement, you'll always find your glutes. Ivy? Also, if you have an issue with balance, honestly, holding light weights, if you're at home, something just very minimal, something that's 5 to 10 pounds, it doesn't necessarily load the weight, but it gives you just something to stay connected with as a counterweight as you go through the movement. If Ivy held on to something as light as a 8-pound med ball, now ideally the purpose of the ball here is not to necessarily load her arms, but it would keep integrity in her core, and if her core is engaged, your balance is always better. Grand finale, we got these cable kickbacks.
Wait.
Ivy's been fair game today, so I will be doing the cable kickbacks, even though it's something I personally wouldn't do publicly. For good reason.
So obviously you can't do this at home if you don't have cables, but since gyms are opening, then if you have access to one, then obviously use it. If not, you can do it banded, so just placing a band on the top of your knees, holding something, kicking back, or you can even do it body weight, just like how I'm doing. But yeah, this is gonna be my favorite exercise in terms of anything with dealing with your glute max, because it's very isolated. So you can use one of these bands if they have it. This one's actually the best one for glute kickbacks, or you can use this one. All I do is I just like move the strap, and so I just use like this part of the strap. So.
Kev, shoot the shot of the 30. I'm gonna change it to the 10 after. Watch me go to work, Kev. Watch me go to work.
One thing that, woo!
All right.
So I like to put it right on, like above my heel, just like this. So it's like nice securely in that pocket of the arch of your foot, so it doesn't move. And then you want to make sure that your hip stays directly above your ankle. You were like right here. You know what I'm saying? So you just have more stability in this position. So you bend over, and then you want to make sure your back is neutral. I don't even need you in this fucking video. And then you just kick back and extend your leg. You don't want to come up too high, because if you come up too high, that's going to be a big stress on your lower back. So just make sure you come up to neutral. Make sure this is activated. Bend your knee right when you get the cable to kind of almost drop or once you get the cable to have no resistance, or almost little to no resistance, then you can kick back here and then come back.
Also, ladies, this is the best exercise when I was still working out at like 24s. Best exercise for some attention.
But yeah, it's true, it's true. Like you be going like this, looking at yourself in the mirror, you're like, oh, I look so good, and there's like fucking 10 other guys looking at your ass.
I just put you on, ladies. I just put you guys on.
The reason why we started our YouTube channel, and the reason why we kind of started to link up and work together, is mainly because we want to create a community that is willing to work hard and is willing to stay consistent and prioritize their health and fitness as, you know, one of their top priorities.
And also because there's a lot of bad that's out there with training, whether you're following somebody, whether you're going to commercial gyms. Honestly, just don't need to name them, but they're out there, and there's a lot of bad out there that can send you in the wrong direction. I believe that I have a lot to show you guys that can be helpful. Also believe that Ivy has a lot to offer as well. So just to help you guys train smart, train effectively, and get after the progress and, you know, the change of things that you guys are looking for.
Yeah.
So.